Yes, guys, Grapplechat is on the air. Oh boy, NXT, August the 8th, 2018. I am here at a empty Full Sail Arena. Just saw the show. It was something. It was definitely something. Welcome everybody. There is no more hype way to start off the show than to giving some hype to the people who are in the live chat, guys. These are filmed live on the scene, live on location with the men and women of wrestling enforcement. All suspects are, excuse me, all suspects are proven hype until, no, all suspects are found hype until proven not hype in a court of hype. That's what's really going on here. So, I see Kid Phantom in the chat. I see Arsenio in the chat. I see Buck Nasty in the chat. I see Cody in that Cody Johnson, that is. There's probably a lot of Codys. I better bring the Johnson. Cody Johnson's in the chat. Richard Legg is in the chat. Joseph Lowe is in the chat. I think I already said Arsenio, but I'm saying Arsenio again. Temezi is in the chat. Temezi 1, 2, 3. Okay, in order. Lady Death is in the chat. Holy moly, man! I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read all these names. Chucky Lee is in the chat. Everybody's in the chat. What's up? What's up? Jazzy's in the chat. What's up, Jazzy? Welcome, guys. If you would like to be part of these reviews, come on. We do them 15 minutes after any wrestling show goes off the air. I do them for Raw. I've not been doing them for SmackDown as normally because I've started to live stream during 205 Live, so I can't do the 15 minutes after SmackDown because during that 15 minutes after SmackDown, I'm doing the 205 live stream, and I think that honestly, I'd rather watch an hour's worth of some of the best wrestling that WWE puts on. Probably the best match per match wrestling that WWE puts on per week is on 205 Live. So I'd kind of rather watch wrestling than talk about doing a review and all that stuff. So hopefully everybody who's been looking forward to those SmackDown Live Grapple Chats, they may return. But for right now, it's been pretty hype doing the 205 Live ones. But any other show, Raw, NXT, Takeover Brooklyn 4, and up and coming SummerSlam, of course. And I'm probably going to be doing these for some other events like All In and things like that. So come on by. 15 minutes after a show goes off the air, I'm normally here doing my live reviews. So come hang out in the chat. Be part of what's up. Oh, and I see the Mo as well. I see the Mo. Why are people's messages getting deleted? Why are people's messages getting deleted? Well, why is the Mo's message getting deleted? That's what I want to know. Mo didn't do anything. There you go. All right. And Chicken Nuggets in the house, too. All right, here we go. It is time, guys. NXT, August the 8th, 2018. It was a hot and cold episode as far as I'm concerned. I honestly don't want to really talk about it too much because it really seemed like a placeholder episode in a lot of ways. But I mean, I want to talk about it. It's just I don't want to go into extravagant depth like I normally go into it. As I said, it was hot and cold. It was up and down. It was here and there. It was just, it wasn't the, it wasn't the I don't know. It didn't flow like a normal NXT episode. It really seemed like that you were right here, and then all of a sudden they were over here. Then all of a sudden they're backstage. Then there was like a promo package. Then we're off next to somebody's pool. Then we're back on the stage. Then a match that you thought was going to happen didn't happen, and then the match that you thought was going to happen happens at the very end, and they only give it like 10 minutes. And then the match that you thought like it was just so like jarring. I just felt like I was getting tugged around and not in a good way. Sometimes NXT does that and they do it very well. Like it makes sense. Somebody gets a promo package and then their match is up next or something. But this was like so weird. So that's the first point I want to put in here. Yeah, don't feed the trolls, guys. Don't even talk to them. Don't even talk to them. That's what they want. People on the internet who troll, they just want your attention. So just pretend that they don't exist and let them wallow in their despair and realize that if they just be themselves, that they would have a much better time in my streams, at least. Do not feed them. All right, so we started off NXT. Okay, this episode of NXT saw some really good stuff. A lady by the name of Amber Nova came out, and she was. I really thought that this was going to be somewhat of a squash match because I've never heard of Amber Nova, and then who I saw she was going to face, Nikki Cross came out, and I'm like, oh man, Nikki Cross. First of all, I don't understand why Nikki Cross is really still in NXT. I don't think that there's anything left for her to do. I know she could win the championship, but I just don't see it happening with Shayna Baszler on top right now. And she's already had her chance a couple times to get to either qualify for it, or she went after Asuka. You know, she's been there when the title was able to be fought for, but there's always been somebody else that they're pushing a little harder, or that they think it would really the title would enhance their career. And I don't think that the title would enhance Nikki Cross right now. I think she's done everything she can. She's already pretty much a women's champion in NXT. She's been there for quite some time, and everybody that she was just with is already on the main roster. So, not that I think that she should join Sanity right now. It's just I really think that it's time. She's already super accepted by the crowd, and it just seems like she's more of a gatekeeper right now. And gatekeeper characters like Cassius Ohno, gatekeeper characters like oh gosh, who else is a gatekeeper right now? I would say even Velveteen Dream is kind of like a gatekeeper character since he never wins his rivalries. It's like he's just putting over other people, and I don't like it when wrestlers get used just to make other wrestlers look good, and that's their only vessel. That's their only job is just make other people look good, make other people look good, make other people look good. It's like there has to be a point where you look good. You know, like they already look good, but like there has to be a point where you get put up on a pedestal and that you get over. Like you get to win something major. And there's a couple athletes like Nikki Cross who are uh just kind of like they're there to put other people over. And this was a great match. I have no problem with it. It's just I really want Nikki Cross to move on to bigger and better things, and I really think that she could bring something to the main roster women's divisions right now, either on Raw or SmackDown. I think both of those divisions could benefit from a Nikki Cross. She's such a different dynamic in it, and it's almost like how Ronda Rousey is there, and now it's like whoa, who the heck is this? Like the amount of devastation that she brings, and just the vicious, just the I don't know how else to say it, but there's just this aura around Nikki Cross, and there's an aura around Shayna Baszler. There's an aura around some of these superstars that just could definitely help the women's division right now, because they got a lot of talent that could actually go out there and wrestle, but they're not utilizing them too well. So anyway, enough with that. Nikki Cross beats Amber Nova, but Amber Nova looked really good here. That was my main point of even talking about this, is that again, Nikki Cross makes somebody else look good, but she actually got the win here, so that was okay. I thought it was going to be a glorified squash match, but it wasn't. Um, they told us Ricochet was going to be in action tonight, and I guess he was, because he came out and then he just got laid out by the Undisputed Era. And then Adam Cole took the mic and he was like, yeah, you know, you call me a coward. That's it. That's it, man. It was it. I loved it, but I also didn't love it because I kind of felt, like I said, it was jarring me. It was like pulling me this way, pulling me that way. I'm like, oh, yo, Ricochet, finally again, and then it was like, nope, no Ricochet. So yeah, he was in action, but it wasn't the action that we were really hoping for. And I don't know if it's because he's slightly injured and they just want to give him a couple more weeks to rest up before his big match with Adam Cole at Takeover Brooklyn 4. I really hope they start calling them something else, because when Brooklyn gets to like NXT Takeover Brooklyn 8, it just sounds weird. Like once I saw that 4, I just got this weird feeling like, dude, are we really just gonna add a 4 and a 3 and a 2 to all these other pay-per-views? Like they were calling things like War Games and Takeover what was it? Arrival and all that. Like it wasn't always just Takeover 1, Takeover 2, Takeover 3. Like, and I don't know, just from a perspective, like a design perspective, I think adding 4s and 3s to stuff, it kind of trivializes it a little bit, unless it's WrestleMania. Because what are you gonna do? You can't really just say, "Oh, this is Wrestle." I don't know, Wrestle Psychosis. Like I know WrestleMania works, but I know they're probably trying to make Brooklyn a WrestleMania type of thing. But I think that having different names for them might work a little bit better once you start getting up into like the 6s and 7s and 8s and 9s. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 10. That's going to be crazy, you know, and it's not going to even happen in the year 2010 at all. So it's going to be strange. I'm just not liking it. I hope they start talking about it a little bit differently. Matt Griff, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, the Mo, you're not timed out or anything. He just accidentally deleted your message. I think he just clicked wrong. I think he just clicked wrong. He was trying to delete somebody else's message and he got you on accident. Yeah, just make sure you check out. Make sure you watch where you tap, man. Swing the wrench with justice, but make sure it's precision justice. So Ricochet gets laid out by the Undisputed Era, and that's about it, man. Just cuts a little promo, and then Adam Cole and the rest of the Undisputed Era sit there doing their little symbol thing, and that's it. Next up, we got a guy, Adrian Jaoud. Adrian Jaoud. He comes out dressed just like Ryu. I'm not kidding, man. This guy was like the bearded Ryu. And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be a super squash again. Like, they keep getting me because I keep forgetting I'm watching NXT. And NXT handles squash matches in a way that I wish the entire roster would handle squash matches. They give you some perspective. Okay, perspective, and they give you some what's it called? Context. Okay. Brooklyn to the fourth power. Yes, exactly. um, NXT handles squash matches with context and with care, because I've started to not like squash matches at all because it doesn't give you context. I said this during the live stream, but I'm going to try to like whittle it down to just an analogy. Okay. So if I get into let's say I'm making ribs, okay? I'm supposed to be the best barbecue pit master, man. I'm going to make the best ribs you ever tasted, all right? And you're going to taste them. So it's me, and then there's another guy who's going to cook ribs. We're going to have a competition. You're going to taste the ribs, unless you're a vegetarian, then I'll make you some vegetables. I'll make you some very nice barbecue vegetables, okay? But whatever, you're going to taste what I cooked because I'm a barbecue pitmaster. I am a decorated master, and the entire nation knows me as the barbecue pitmaster. And then there's this guy who's also going to cook you some ribs or whatever, and you're going to taste this stuff, and you're gonna judge to find out who cooked the best ribs, who cooked the best barbecue. All right, so but it's me versus this guy you never heard of. Okay, you've never heard of this guy at all. And when I hand you the ribs and you start eating them, you're like, this is good. I wonder what the other guy cooked though. And the guy doesn't even cook anything. He doesn't even cook anything, and he's just standing there looking at you. And that's it. That's the whole competition. You judge the whole competition based off of one person's dish. There's no context. There's no detail. There's no reference point. You're just tasting my ribs, and I'm known as a champion. I'm known as the best. I'm known as a guy that probably cooks a good rib. But you're wondering, like, what happened here? This guy didn't even compete at all. So you can't. It doesn't decorate me at that point. It doesn't make me look like a good chef. It's like I won by default, and you don't even know if this guy can legitimately cook at all or if he's even a chef or anything. So it's not a good win. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for the competition. Yeah, you got to eat a little bit, but you don't know that I'm the best. You don't know that I actually won the competition. It's just this guy didn't do anything. So that's how I feel about squash matches. It's like on the main roster, they'll bring somebody out. It'll be a 2-second match, and then Authors of Pain will squash somebody in 2 seconds. And you're like, who were those guys? Who did they just squash? Or are they good at all? Like, it doesn't do anything for athletes if they're wrestling against people that you don't know if they're good or not. It doesn't make them look good. It's just, oh, he beat up somebody. Does that guy even wrestle? Does the guy even know how to wrestle? Where'd they find this guy? Was this guy out like in the parking lot, and they were like, hey, we need somebody to fight. Hey, how about you? Like, it doesn't make a person look good. But in NXT, they do it differently. In NXT, even people you haven't heard of, they give them time. They give them, they let them get them some offense. They let them get reverse somebody's moves, get the foot up in the face. You know, when somebody comes rushing at them in the corner, they get the foot up, and then they start mounting some offense and hanging them up in the ropes, doing all kinds of cool stuff. And then the known superstar, you know, cracks them with a hot one, which is what happened right here. Cassius Ohno eventually overcame Adrian Jaoud, but Adrian Jaoud looked good in the match. He looked like a presentable athlete. So when Cassius Ohno actually knocked him out, you're like, yeah, Cassius is legit, man. That other guy was doing the dang thing, but Cassius is just good. That's how I would like squash matches to go. Just give a little bit of context so that we know the person they beat, actually has skill, so it makes Cassius look good. Don't let the other guy beat the crap out of Cassius into the ground, and then all of a sudden Cassius just lands one move and it's over. But don't do that. But give it some time. I would like it if all squash matches would go that way. Just show that they can at least do something before you take them out. And that's what they did here with this Cassius Ohno match. Cassius Ohno wins against Adrian Dude, and I liked it. So I hope that everybody understands what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about. Heck to the yes. Irish is in the house. What's up, Irish? Brox is in the house too. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me for the NXT review. We're halfway through it. Next up, we got the debut of Keith Lee versus Marcel Barthel. Marcel Barthel came out looking like an assassin. Okay, he looked like if you're watching a Jason Bourne movie. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Jason Bourne is in a market and he's buying some fruit or something. He's at a stand and he's handing over his money, and then he looks up and there's a guy just standing across the market staring right at him. And he's got like half of his head shaved and he's just staring right at Jason Bourne, and Jason Bourne's staring at him, and you know that guy is an assassin. Like it's like a scene from a movie. He's just standing on the ramp like this, and I'm like, Marcel Barthel, who the heck is this? But he's out to hurt somebody. So I was like, okay, is this some new signee? And then Keith Lee comes out, and I'm like, oh, okay, incoming squash match. But no, NXT does it right. Marcel Barthel went face to face, toe to toe with Keith Lee in a very entertaining match, and I was relieved. Actually, I was very relieved because I thought it was going to be, Keith Lee comes out, he hits him with the finisher, and then that's it. But no, Marcel Barthel got in some genuine offense. He looked like $1,000,000 out there. He moved around the ring. These guys worked together very well. There was a headbutt spot at the very end of the match that just looked so devastating. Keith Lee's jumping out of the gym, man. He surprised everybody. This guy is basically like you know how Samoa Joe moves around the ring so fast that people are like, dang, dude, look at his build. He shouldn't be able to do this. Keith Lee is like that, but then like to the next extent, because Keith Lee can actually like leap around the place and do things that a person with his body type, it wouldn't seem that they can do. Keith Lee is such a gem of a signing for WWE. That's why I'm so hype about it. This guy can do basically everything, and he's got charisma. The crowd was eating out of his hands from the very second he arrived. It was just fresh, man. This match was good. I highly recommend you guys, if you have not seen NXT, or if you have seen it, the matches I would say go back to watch are Keith Lee versus Marcel Barthel, Cassius Ohno versus Adrian Jude, and also maybe a little bit of this Taynara Conti versus Vanessa Bourne match. Maybe just like the ending, because I didn't really like, because that's the next match coming up, so I can just go straight into it. Taynara Conti versus Vanessa Bourne was a match that I feel was plagued by the fact that Vanessa Bourne is okay in the ring, but I don't know, maybe she was just rusty, or maybe these two don't work together too well, but her and Taynara Conti did not really impress me much. I was kind of just checking out, like, okay, all right, just come on, get it going. But Taynara Conti actually beats Vanessa Bourne. I liked it, man. What did she do? What did she hit her with? Was it a submission maneuver? Was it? I don't know. I don't even recall what the maneuver was. Like honestly, it was an okay match, but just nothing too nothing too crazy. Taynara Conti, it surprised me too, because I know Vanessa Bourne has gotten her share of TV time, so I would think that they were going to put her in, but I guess that was like the twist right there. So Taynara Conti wins against Vanessa Bourne. It was just an okay match. Nothing really to feel super special about or to write home about, but I did enjoy bits and pieces of it. I liked some of the intensity that they brought, and I just wish I could recall even how the match ended. I think it was a submission. I think it was a submission by Taynara, but I can't be sure of it. Huh. I'll try to think of it. But either way, Taynara Conti moves on, and she qualifies for the Mae Young Classic. Vanessa Bourne is out of the Mae Young Classic, and Taynara Conti is in. So good luck to her. I don't know if she's winning it, because I know that there's some other names that they were just advertising today, because they did a march or something, a parade, a Mae Young Classic parade, where they showed off some of the newest signings. They showed off Toni Storm, of course. They showed off the new Japanese signing. What's her name? Lo Shirai. They showed her off, and a couple other women as well. So I'm not sure if TAYNARA Conti is going to be able to get past them. They definitely are hyping those people up a little bit more. But hey, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Which left us about 10 minutes for the main event. After that match, I was like, oh, well, something weird's gonna happen uh, Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black, because they're only giving these guys 10 minutes, and you know these two guys are very, very good wrestlers, some of the best in the world. And I was just thinking, man, there's only 10 minutes left in NXT. Something weird's going to happen. Either Johnny's going to go off and just super stomp Aleister Black and get disqualified, or somebody's going to get like a fake injury or something that's going to make the match end. Or I was just thinking, man, I'm like, God, man, I wish I could actually see these two wrestle. I wish they would have given them some more time. But overall, this episode is pretty okay. So during the match, Aleister Black is just raining kicks on the chest of Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano was looking. I honestly didn't think Johnny Gargano was doing much of anything in this match. He was just getting his clock cleaned by these kicks. Eventually, out comes Tommaso Ciampa in a just really, really stupid move. Honestly, I've loved this feud up until it started involving Tommaso Ciampa. This feud, I was really happy when Tommaso Ciampa won the title from Aleister Black, and I know he's owed a rematch clause, so he's pretty much supposed to be in the storyline. But I really think that some of the shine, some of the hype behind this Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa rivalry has faded. Some of the sheen, some of the gloss that just made it look so nice, it's fading, man. Especially after this, because what happened next is just cookie cutter whackness. Johnny's acting is really getting bad too. His acting needs to step it up a bit, because him sitting there like, huh, huh. I felt cringe worthy. Okay, watching his attempt at acting, and everybody in this situation acted the ultimate. Just they did exactly what nobody should do in this situation. If you're the champion and you have one guy to fight at the event, because they announced right before this match that Tommaso Ciampa would be taking on Aleister Black at Takeover Brooklyn 4. So he runs out and tries to fight both of them, like, as a champion. Tommaso Ciampa, even before he was champion, before any of this, for months and months and months, Tommaso Ciampa was picking his spots very well. He was sabotaging and making Johnny Gargano's life a living HE double hockey sticks. He was making his life horrible, but he was doing it with the brain. Would you say it faded to black? Yes. Yes, I would, Second City. Yes, I would say that. It's not to black yet, but it's fading. Yes, it is fading. So Tommaso Ciampa has been a smart heel. He has been a crafty and just conniving heel who will twist the knife in your back just how he knows it will hurt you the most. Thank you. Whatever just happened. Thank you. Twisting the knife in Johnny's back just how he knows it'll hurt, and that's what's made him the heel that everybody's like, dang, now that's how you heel. Not doing stupid things, running out and just getting himself involved in a two-man brawl. It's not smart at all. So this was one of those times where NXT pulled a Raw or a SmackDown, where somebody just does something completely out of character, and we're supposed to just accept it because, oh well. You have no choice. I have no choice but to accept it, but I can talk about it because it's a review. Okay, I'm reviewing the product, and right here was a decision that does not fit what Tommaso Ciampa has been doing for the last like months and months and months. It's not his character. He runs out. He interrupts the match, leading to the match being thrown out or destroyed or something. I don't know. I don't even know who won that match really. I think they just called it an interruption. I don't think they even said who really won. I think he touched Johnny first, so I think Johnny technically won the match. But either way, it's a dumb decision. So Tommaso comes out, he starts beating up. Then they start all fighting each other in a way like Aleister Black. He for some reason pulls Johnny off of Aleister. He pulls Johnny off of Tommaso Ciampa so that he could beat him up some more. Which I understand he's mad at him, but like, wouldn't you just let him beat up the guy you're gonna fight in like a week? Just let him beat him up. Let him beat him up, and then after he beats him up, then you go and then you beat him up. You know, let Johnny beat up the dude, and then come back. Beat him up after Johnny has taken out Tommaso Ciampa. I would love that. I would love that. That would have been a smart thing for ALEISTER to do. But no, he decided no. So I guess that's what happened. So then, William Regal comes out. William Regal is like, hey, you know what? I think it is about that time for me to not try to stop this. I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to let it happen. So the match at TakeOver will now be a triple threat match. And I'm just sitting there like, so you mess up a title match, resulting in one man winning, and then you get a title shot? I mean, I know he was supposed to have a title shot before and that match got messed up, but it's like, what is going on? You know, what is he doing? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. All right, so okay. I don't get it. William Regal made a weird call here, and now it's a triple threat match at TakeOver Brooklyn 4, and I'm just like, what is happening? You know, I'm like, what is this? So Tommaso Ciampa makes a bad decision by coming out there in the first place. Also, Aleister Black makes a bad decision by continuously beating up a guy, or not beating up a guy, but saving a person who he should be letting get beat up. The only person who really didn't make too bad of a decision here was probably Johnny Gargano, because he's got beef with Tommaso Ciampa, so he went after him, obviously, and he was just in a match with this guy, so he's probably a little bit, he's probably got some red. He's seeing red, and he wants to beat him up. He wants to beat up Aleister Black. It's just, I don't like this outcome. There's nothing, like I said, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not trying to change it. It's just, I think that it would probably be best if they would have left it a one-on-one match. Now, for some reason, Johnny Gargano has a title shot. I don't like it. I don't like it. Mo, don't feed the trolls, dude. Don't even talk to people. Don't even talk to them. Don't even give them any attention at all. Don't feed the trolls. That's all they want. All they want is attention, because they have a small little wannabe life where they just chill online and do stupid stuff to try to make people pay attention to them. So just don't even give it to them. That's all they want. They're not here to do anything positive with their lives. So don't even feed them. Don't even talk to them. Pretend they don't exist. All right, so, oh, and I almost forgot the weirdest part. The weirdest part of this entire NXT was Velveteen Dream sitting out by his pool. And it's like filmed like it's a sitcom or something. EC3 actually visits Velveteen Dream's compound or whatever. He's sitting out by like a really nice looking pool, and he's wearing his gear. He's got his sunglasses on. And, you know, he's looking velveteenish. And EC3 walks up to him and is like, "Hey, what's up, Velveteen?" And Velveteen Dream's like, "Take a seat." Well, he's like, "Would you like to take a seat?" And EC3 is like, "I'd be, what did he say? I'd be honored," or something. He said something like flattering, like, "I'd love to." And then he takes a seat. And then as soon as he takes a seat, Velveteen Dream's like, "Do you want to take a walk?" and then EC3 is like, "Yeah, let's take a walk." I'm like, why do you ask them to sit down if they're just going to take a walk? But all right. So they get up and they start taking a walk, but they're right by the pool. And EC3 is like, "Oh, I thought you were going to throw me in the pool." And then Velveteen Dream's like, "No, why would I do that? Why would I?" He said something like that. And I'm just sitting here like, where is this going? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So then EC3 is like, "I've noticed." He's like, "I'm glad. I'm about to wait for this match because it's bigger than anything. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than life. I'm glad that we're waiting. We're going to wait for this match at TakeOver Brooklyn." And then for some reason, Velveteen Dream takes that as a insult, and he's like, "Oh, you were insulting me and I invite you to my compound, and you're insulting me." And I'm like, what is he talking about? It's like I don't know who wrote this. I don't know who wrote this. This was a very all over the place episode of NXT, but especially this part was like, what's going on here? I love Velveteen Dream. I like EC3, but this was just real odd. So Velveteen Dream takes off his glasses and he's getting real heated. He's like, "You would disrespect me," and he drops his glasses and he's like, "What?" And it's just, it's such a weird moment because him dropping his glasses made both of them derail their entire talk, and they were like, "Your glasses? Oh no!" Like I'm not making this up. They're like, "What? Your glasses got dropped." So, um, the EC3 is like, "Don't worry, I got them." It's like they're trying to act bad. It's like they're trying to badly act. Oh my goodness, dude. It's just so weird. So he bends down to pick up the glasses, and then Velveteen Dream attacks him, and he's going to throw him in the pool. But EC3 gets him up in the fireman's carry position and just like gives him like pretty much his finisher, but with just without the cutter part of it. So he just finishers him into the pool, and then when Velveteen Dream is in the pool, they do an underwater shot showing him like blah blah blah, blah. He's all scared and stuff. And I guess he's like he can't swim or something because EC3 is like it's 3 feet deep, and then Velveteen Dream just stands up and he's like, oh. And then that's the end of the segment. That's literally the end. And I'm just sitting here like, what happened? What is going on? And then they announced that Velveteen Dream will be in action next week, and a couple of matches that are really good next week. We got Tyler Bate is taking on who did they say? I think Tyler Bate's taking on like Roderick Strong or something. It's some really good matches, but I'd have to go back and watch it again to tell you exactly. But I got the feeling that next week's NXT is going to be very good, especially since it's the NXT right before Takeover Brooklyn. So I'm all in, man. I am all in. I loved it. I loved it. Holy moly. Holy moly, King Spade. You're finishing up Luke Cage. Can't you pause that? King Spade, what? It's not even a live broadcast. It's not even a live show. You could have paused it, man. You could have paused it. Oh my goodness. Broxa? What is going on over here? What is this? Broxa. Dude, thank you so much. That's the stuff I'm looking for. That's the stuff I am looking for. Broxa, thank you so much, man. Broxa doing the dang thing over here. Altogether, this episode of NXT, the match quality was very good. Nikki Cross versus Amber Nova was a much better match than I expected. The non-match that Ricochet had was disappointing, to say the least, but maybe he just needs some extra time to heal up, so I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Cassius Ohno versus Adrian Jude was much better than I thought it had any business being. I loved it. Yeah, 100 bits. Broxa always killing it, man. Thank you so much, Broxa. Keith Lee versus Marcel Barthel. Both of them looked incredible in this match. I'd like to see some more of Marcel Barthel even. Of course, I'd like to see some more of Keith Lee. That dude is awesome. But Marcel Barthel was very presentable. Taynara Conti versus Vanessa Bourne was probably the least impressive match on here, but it was still all right. It was presentable. It's just there was nothing memorable about the match. If you couldn't tell, I can't even remember how the match ended. So it was just okay, you know. And being okay next to the rest of this, it just makes it look kind of even less impressive. But I give them props. I give them props for going out there and doing the dang thing. And then the last match of the night, just honestly, it tarnished a little bit of this Tommaso Ciampa Johnny Gargano thing, because Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa is the best rivalry in sports entertainment currently. If there's anything else happening in like Ring of Honor or Pro Wrestling Guerrilla or any of the rest of these things, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the WWE. It's the best rivalry there is, besides The Miz and Daniel Bryan. But that's just getting going. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, they've had several just knockdown, drag out, incredible contests that have enhanced their storyline so much. So it's personal with me. Okay, I really care about this storyline, and I feel like the making this a triple threat match, it's another page in the story that it's already kind of like, it's like one of those books that you see like. They put the book down on the counter and you're like, how many pages is that? Like, dang, man, what's in there? And then you open it up and it's like half of the book now, or not half of the book, but there's like a whole bunch of chapters that have all these other characters in it that don't really have to do with the story, and that they're just in there for now, and they're not really going to affect the overarching storyline. It's like the people that you see who just like walk in the background, or people who, like in your favorite movie, if the person in the main character in your favorite movie goes into a store and they buy like they buy something. They buy like an item they're going to use later in the movie, but it's like the guy who sold it to him it's kind of an important character, but it's not the reason you're watching it. That's like Aleister Black being involved in this rivalry in the first place, but making it a triple threat match now, it makes it seem like Johnny Gargano is getting a lucky hand from just doing ridiculous things. I thought that they were showing that Johnny Gargano is going to have to learn a lesson to control his rage and his outbursts in order to overcome the much craftier um, heel Tommaso Ciampa. So I thought that this storyline was going to eventually be that Johnny Gargano is going to have to Shanti to beat Tommaso Ciampa. He can't just be a wild man because it's not working. He's lost like the trust of his wife. He's lost his wedding ring. He's lost the matches. Now his most hated rival now has the championship because of his weirdness, and now he's just getting rewarded with the title shot for doing the things that are supposed to be teaching him the lesson. At least that's the storyline I'm getting out of it, is that he's being taught a lesson for going down this road of just insanity. He's losing everything. And now he's like gaining stuff for doing it. It's like it just doesn't fit the story arc as far as I'm concerned. But what do I know? What do I know? I like it. I like it. So my overall rating on this episode of NXT, I'm gonna give this a 7 point. I give it like a 7.4. Give it a 7.4, and most of that is because of the wrestling involved. Very very cool wrestling, and also it's leading towards some storylines, and they invested some time in the Velveteen Dream and EC3 thing. They've made Cassius Ohno still a legitimate threat. Undisputed Era, Adam Cole showing that he's still thinking about Ricochet, and he wants to let him know that he does kind of scare him, but he's not going to say it that way. He's just going to show it by beating him down. Nikki Cross got some action, so she's still in their minds, still something they want to showcase. And the Mae Young Classic is coming up, so that's definitely a good thing. The Mae Young Classic got some heavy advertisement time here, so altogether I have to give it like a 7.4. It was an okay episode. If you missed it, yeah, you did miss some stuff that is going to be valuable for you in the future and in the near future as well, leading into Takeover Brooklyn 4. So overall, 7.4, I would say. I think that's a pretty fair rating. Pretty fair. What did you guys think of it, though? I gotta ask the gritty universe. Let's find out what you guys thought about it. What do you guys think? Let's find out. Temezi says 8 out of 10. Ooh, Chicken Nugget says 8.5 out of 10. Wow, that good? Wow, that's good, man. That's 1.5 away from a perfect show. That's a very high rating. I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm glad you liked it. I liked it too, but just not 1.5 points for perfection. I'm glad you liked it though. That's always a good thing. And 8 out of 10 from Joseph Lowe. Okay. So altogether, I would say that I'm on the low end of the spectrum. I'd say it's probably around a 7.8, something like that overall if I'm using everybody's rankings and averaging them out. So somewhere around like a 7.8. A presentable show. It was not a bad show by any means. It's just that ending kind of tarnished it a little bit for me, and the acting, man. they gotta get Johnny to do a little bit better acting. There was a WWE exclusive interview they did with Johnny Gargano right after the show was over, I think. So let me find out what he was saying. Maybe he can redeem himself here. Let's listen in. Let's find out. Let's find out what he had to say.
Johnny, you blame yourself for Tommaso Ciampa becoming NXT champion. Aleister Black blames you for Tommaso Ciampa becoming NXT champion. Now you have a real possibility of becoming NXT champion at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. How satisfying is it to be added to that championship match?
It is my fault. I own that. Tommaso Ciampa is NXT champion because of me.
It's really quiet.
I've said since day one, my goal, my dream here is to be NXT champion. And I've tried, and I've tried, and I failed. And now, my dream is a nightmare. Tommaso Ciampa is NXT champion, and that's my fault. I told you weeks ago that Johnny Wrestling is gone. I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I don't know who I am anymore. Anger, hatred, suffering. That's the world I live in now. All I want is revenge. All I want is to end Tommaso Ciampa. And that's all I see. And that's all I want. But when I was in that ring, and Mr. Regal said that at TakeOver Brooklyn, it'll be a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. I saw a light, a white light at the end of the tunnel, and it's shining bright. And that white light is the NXT Championship. That white light is my dream coming true in Brooklyn. And everything is said and done in Brooklyn, in Barclays, I will be NXT champion. And I will be Johnny Wrestling again.
Dang, okay. Dude, that was captivating. That was captivating. Okay, it was very quiet though. I wish they would have equalized that audio a little bit, but that was captivating, man. Suffering succotash, son. That was a good little promo there. I'm gonna take back like 14.8% of what I just said. But that wasn't part of the show though, so my rating stays the same. That was after the show. That was an exclusive for the internet, for the interwebs, for YouTube. So that does not change my rating, but that does change my attitude and my thoughts towards this rivalry a little bit. It sucks they didn't make that part of the show, man. That would have been a really good thing. That would have been cool if, like, after the show, it showed him, like, walking out and then somebody put a mic in his face and that's how it went off the air. That would have been good. That would have been good, man. That would have saved a lot of my, what do I call it? My apprehensiveness. I'm apprehensive about this triple threat, but now I'm kind of all right with it. Kind of all right with it because it makes sense. It makes sense that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel is him gaining that NXT championship. I don't know how taking the championship destroys Tommaso, but I guess he destroyed Tommaso in the process of getting it. But it's kind of all over the place a little bit, but it makes a little bit more sense when he says it that way. And his acting right there was pretty dang good. So I'll take back 14.8% of the things I said about his acting, and I am 14.8% more into this triple threat match. It's going to be an awesome match. I know that for sure, and that's normally good enough. But I just, like I said, I care so much about this rivalry. They've got me so invested. So I'm looking forward to it. They definitely, that helped a lot, man. I wish that would have been part of the show. But hey, now we know. I loved it. I loved that part. Still giving it a 7.4 as an overall NXT show, and man, still better than Raw this week. Still way better than Raw, dude. It was that 3.4 points higher than Raw. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I would say. Very, very much better than Raw. I hope you guys enjoyed Grapple Chat. I am going to be doing my weekly gaming and entertainment talk show called The Nitty Gritty. It's going to be happening on my Twitch channel in about 1 hour from now, guys. So make sure that you got your snacks, your drinks, your dinner, a comfy place to sit, or get your whole setup going. Have your surround sound, your 4K TVs, your everything. Okay, everything. Dolby Digital, Dolby Atmos surround sound system. Get it all booted up because we're gonna have ourselves a fine episode of the Nitty Gritty. If you guys are wondering what Nitty Gritty is, it's where I show off the newest game trailers, movie trailers. I have a special guest. There's a little bit of on the spot comedy. I'm on location. I got to get over to that location. I got to get on my private jet and get over there. So that's why it's going to be about an hour from now. Is because I got to get on the jet, and it's difficult. But don't worry, guys. I'm gonna be booting that up, and I hope to see all you guys there. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to share that stuff with you. So thank you to everybody who was part of this NXT live review. Thank you for giving me your review of the show as well, guys. We, as a universe, we figured it out. It's about a 7.8 or so, somewhere around there. I appreciated you guys very, very much. If you've not already subscribed, please do that. If you have already subscribed, thank you for being a subscriber. And if you already gave this a thumbs up, thank you as well. Leave a comment on some of my videos, guys. Got about an hour. Maybe use some of your time to hook up some of my videos with some thumbs up or something. That would be highly appreciated as well. I will catch you guys on the flip side of this broadcast, on the other broadcast. Much appreciation, much love. Thank you for being part of Team Gritty, guys, and I'll be catching you in just a bit. Gritty Urban and Grapplechat out.